Hi everyone. So now we are working on the caster wheel assembly, and like we've discussed in class, this model that we're looking at, that we're orbiting around, is the end goal, and it does consist of various different parts. So if I just collapse these parts that are in the browser area of the model, you can see that this is made up of a bracket, a post, a wheel, a bushing, which is inside the wheel, so you can't really see it in this view, a shaft, and a retaining ring, which is on the other side of the model right there. Okay, so the way we bring all these parts together is in an assembly file, and each part, again, is its own file, and the assembly file will just kind of contain all of these different part files. So to get the process started, I want to show you the first few steps. What you'll do is you will click on New, and the regular open file dialog box comes up. In our case, remember we want to be using metric. So over here in the browser, you don't want English, which is inches and feet. You want metric. And instead of creating a part like we've been doing, we'll be creating an assembly. So that would be all these template files in this location. The one you want to use is called standard millimeters.iam. Now notice this is a different extension than what we've been using. So far we've been using the .ipt, which is a part template. In this case, now we're going to be using .iam, which is an assembly file. So we'll select this template and click Create. Now we've got a brand new assembly file, and the first thing you should do is save it. And remember, you want to have a subfolder dedicated to this assembly. So in my case, I have caster assembly. When I open that, actually, I'll just click to show you all the files in there. You can see all my part files live here, and they have this icon that's like a cube. There's also some assembly files. So this is a number of cubes kind of assembled together. I'm going to create a brand new file from scratch. So I'll call it caster assembly 1 and save it. Now, in order to, the first step I need to go through is to start bringing the part files into my assembly file. It's a pretty straightforward process. You can see here in the main toolbar, you have the Assemble toolbar that will open by default, and you'll use this Place component. So basically, you're getting a part from a file folder and you're placing it into your assembly. So I'll click, and now it's asking me which part I want first. In my case, I want the bracket. We get a nice little preview of what we're bringing in, and we'll click open. I zoom out here. I can see that I have the bracket. I'm going to orbit around, kind of see that that has the right orientation. While I'm doing this, I'm looking at the exploded view drawing from the hub to make sure as I bring components in, I kind of orient them in the orientation in which I'm going to use them when I assemble everything. So I've got this here. As you can see, you can place it anywhere, and anywhere is exactly where you'll place it. So one left click places the object. You can see that it placed it in an orientation I don't really like. So I'm going to Control Z to undo. And I will grab the bracket again, open, You can see it's laying on its side. I actually would like it to be standing upright like my exploded view drawing shows. So I'm going to right click before I actually place this. I'm going to right click on my mouse and I want to rotate this. So you see I have a couple options. I can rotate it around Z, which if I look at the little origin icon here, I can see Z is my blue axis. I don't want to go around the blue axis. Y is green. I don't want that one. But X, which is red, I would like to rotate it 90 degrees about the red axis. So I'm going to click that. And that looks like the orientation I want. I will place that item in my drawing. Now I could keep placing multiple instances of this part, but I only need one. So I'm going to click Escape on my keyboard. And now I have this bracket in a location. If I were to select it and click and drag, I can move it wherever I want. What I'll do next is I'll come back to the Place Component feature, and I'm going to just grab the next parts for my assembly. So in this case, I'm looking at my exploded view drawing and I see that I need a post. So I'll find the post, I'll open that part. I've got the preview of it, it's in the drawing, but again, the orientation isn't what I want. Before I click with my left mouse button or click anything for that matter, I will right click. Again, same kind of rotation around the x-axis. That looks good, that's what I want. I'm going to place it up here, which is approximately where it's shown in the exploded view drawing, and hit escape. Next, I can place the next part I see in our drawing, which is the shaft. So I'll come and select the shaft, click open. Again, this requires reorientation, but this time it's going to be around the green y-axis. So I'll right click, I'll rotate around Y. That's given me the orientation I like. I can place it and exit out. I'll continue placing parts in this assembly. I can click on this place button. Another way you might choose to do it, just as a slight time saver, is you can right click and in the radar menu, you'll see you have an option to place component. So I'll use that this time. It does the exact same thing. It's just a little bit less mouse travel. And I'm going to find the wheel and open that, place that kind of per my exploded view drawing. I'm happy with the orientation, so I just clicked. And one more component I know I need is the bushing. I can open that. This needs reorientation, so we'll rotate about the y-axis and place it approximately there. Okay, escape, and there's only one more part in this assembly, which is a retaining ring. I can open that, and I can place it here. Pan around. At this point, you can move any part wherever you'd like it. Things will get locked together in a future lesson when we talk about constraining parts to each other. So that's the gist of it for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed.